When you think of the ultimate financial paradise, your mind probably goes straight to Dubai. Skyscrapers, massive wealth, endless investment opportunities. But while the world's attention remains fixed on the usual financial centers, something remarkable is happening elsewhere. A quiet economic transformation is unfolding across parts of Africa, creating opportunities that many global investors are only beginning to notice. In this video, we're looking beyond the headlines to explore three African economies that are expanding rapidly, attracting international capital, and increasingly being compared to the early stages of other fast-growing economic success stories. If you want to see where many investors are paying closer attention, stay until the very end, because our number one pick may completely change the way you think about global investment opportunities. Let's be honest, in today's world, simply leaving your money in a savings account isn't always enough to stay ahead of inflation. Even many traditional investments can deliver slower growth than people expect. Throughout history, some of the greatest fortunes were built by those who recognized emerging opportunities before they became obvious to everyone else. That doesn't mean every fast-growing economy guarantees success, but it does mean understanding where growth is happening can give investors a broader perspective. So let's examine three economies that have been attracting increasing global attention. Starting at number 3 is Rwanda. Over the past 2 decades, Rwanda has undergone one of Africa's most impressive economic transformations. While many countries focused primarily on traditional industries, Rwanda invested heavily in digital government services, technology, and improving its business environment. The country has recorded strong economic growth over many years and has earned a reputation for streamlined business registration, improved infrastructure, and policies designed to encourage entrepreneurship and foreign investment. Kigali, the capital city, is steadily becoming one of East Africa's leading innovation hubs. Today, investors are paying close attention to sectors such as financial technology, agricultural technology, renewable energy, tourism, and modern real estate. Rather than trying to become another economy, Rwanda is building its own model of growth based on efficiency, innovation, and long-term planning. If you think that's impressive, wait until you see number 2. Welcome to Côte d'Ivoire, also known as Ivory Coast. For years, this country quietly maintained one of the strongest economic growth rates in Africa while receiving far less international attention than many larger economies. Instead of relying only on exporting raw agricultural products, Côte d'Ivoire has invested heavily in processing industries, manufacturing, transportation, and modern infrastructure. The transformation of Abidjan, with its expanding highways, ports, bridges, and commercial developments, reflects a long-term strategy aimed at becoming a major regional business hub. As incomes continue to rise and urban populations expand, demand for commercial property, logistics, retail centers, housing, and food processing continues to grow. Many analysts see these structural investments as the foundation for sustained economic development rather than short-term growth. And now we've reached the country that has been attracting enormous attention from international investors. At number 1 is Tanzania. While much of the world's media focuses on larger global economies, Tanzania has steadily strengthened its position as one of East Africa's fastest-growing markets. Supported by major investments in transportation networks, ports, mining, energy, tourism, and industrial development, the country has been building the infrastructure needed for long-term expansion. Projects such as the standard gauge railway and improvements to the port of Dar es Salaam are helping connect inland African markets to international trade routes. At the same time, growing cities and increasing foreign investment are creating opportunities in logistics, commercial real estate, tourism infrastructure, manufacturing, and industrial services. Rather than being called the next Dubai, many investors simply see Tanzania as a country entering an important stage of economic development with significant long-term potential. Like every investment destination, it carries risks, but it is also becoming increasingly difficult for global investors to ignore. So what do these three countries have in common? They aren't succeeding because of luck. They're investing in infrastructure. They're improving the business environment. They're attracting international capital, and they're positioning themselves for decades of future growth rather than short-term headlines. The biggest lesson isn't that these countries will automatically become the next Dubai. It's that history often rewards investors who recognize long-term trends before they become obvious to everyone else. Every major financial center was once considered an emerging market. The real question isn't whether every opportunity will succeed. The question is whether you're paying attention while these changes are still unfolding. As always, every investment involves risk, and doing your own research before making financial decisions is essential. But understanding where global growth is taking place is one of the first steps toward becoming a smarter investor. The world is changing faster than most people realize, and those who keep learning often recognize opportunities before everyone else. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more insights on global business, investing, and wealth building. And before you go, tell me in the comments, which country do you think has the biggest long-term potential? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.